Hi everyone, my name is Itamar Ben David. I'm a tour guide here in Jerusalem, Israel, and today I want to talk to you about the weekly Parasha. So if you're not Jewish or not familiar with it, Jews read the first 5 books of Moses, the Torah, every year. We finish it every year. So this week, this coming Saturday, this Shabbat, we're gonna read the book of Genesis. We're gonna start reading in the book of Genesis. The first Parasha, the first portion that we read is called Beresheet, Genesis. So what I want to do is to connect the story of the parasha, the creation, the story about the creation, to some geography, at least to the best of our knowledge. And what I'm going to do is to share my screen now with Google Earth, and I created a little project that will help us understand what are we talking about. So thanks to Google Earth and other amazing content creators, content providers, the photosphere photographers, we're able to see all of that, and I want to thank them. And this video is purely for educational purposes. So if there is any problem with that, just let me know, send me an email. It will be in the description section. Okay, so here's Israel and the Middle East, as you can see. And you can see that I marked with blue lines the rivers of the Middle East. We are going to talk about it in just a moment. So let's read these verses from the parasha about the Garden of Eden and what's going on with that. So in the book of Genesis, chapter 2, it says, a river watering the garden flowed from Eden. Okay, where's that Eden? We don't really know. From there, it was separated into 4 headwaters. These are these rivers. Okay, so let's hear the names of these rivers. The name of the first is Pishon. We'll see where that is. It just says that it's in the land of Havilah, where there is gold. Maybe Africa somewhere. Then it says the name of the second river is the Gihon. It winds through the entire land of Cush. That's also in Africa. The name of the third river is Tigris. Okay, Tigris. It runs along the east side of Ashur. So these are actual places that we know where that is. This is in Iraq. And the fourth river is the Euphrates, the river Prat, as we call it. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. Okay, so this is the description in the book of Genesis 2. Let's try and work that out. So let's start with Lake Victoria, okay? Just over here, you can see it's bordering few different countries, okay? Uganda and Tanzania, as you can see, some Kenya in the east, yeah? So from Lake Victoria, we have the White Nile, okay? The White Nile, as you can see, is flowing this way, okay? Starting right over here and moving from there to Lake Tana in Ethiopia. This is the origins, the sources of the Blue Nile. Okay, the Blue Nile. The Blue Nile, known as the Gihon, and the White Nile, known as the Pishon, are meeting at Khartoum, the capital of the Sudan. So thanks to all these amazing photographers, we're actually able to see the meeting place of the Nile River, the White and the Blue Nile. Here it is. So we'll have to thank Mr. Jordy for taking this photo for us. Thanks to him, we're able to see this meeting point of the Blue and White Nile. Unbelievable, this is massive, okay? So here it is, and from here, this is just the Nile heading north towards Egypt, basically. Okay, so we have the Gihon and the Pishon that were mentioned. And as you can see, the Nile goes all the way to the north, to the Mediterranean. Here's the delta of the Nile, Cairo, okay, that area. Okay, so these are the first 2 rivers that are mentioned. Let's move on to the 2 other ones, okay? We have the Tigris and the Euphrates. The Tigris is the eastern one. It's known in Hebrew as the Hidekel, and in Arabic as the Dajle. Okay, so this is the Hidekel River or the Tigris. Okay, this is Mosul, pretty famous cities. Mosul is where Nineveh, ancient Nineveh is. Okay, very ancient, important city. Baghdad, capital of Iraq. Goes on and on, all the way to Persian Gulf or the Arab Gulf. Okay, so this is the eastern side, and on the west we have the Euphrates, El Furat, okay, in Arabic. There you go, you can see it right over here. Yeah, the origins are in the mountains of eastern Turkey, basically. So you can see this as well. You can see the river, pretty massive rivers, and this is both of them, yeah? This is the cradle, basically, the cradle of the ancient civilizations thousands of years ago, early Bronze Age onwards. Okay, so the Nile is feeding ancient Egypt, and Tigris and Euphrates are the rivers of Mesopotamia, basically. So the cradle of the human civilization are in this place. So the rivers that we're talking about, we're hearing about in the book of Genesis, are rivers that, you know, created the culture the way we are informed by the archaeologists, the ancient texts, etc., etc. Between these two, or maybe four, yeah, 1, 2, and these 4 rivers altogether, or the Nile, we have the land of Israel. Okay, the land of Israel. And how is that connected to that? This is quite interesting. The question is, okay, why do they say that the creation, yeah, according to the tradition, happened in Jerusalem? Okay, clearly there's no river, aside maybe of the Jordan River, which is very small. Okay, there's no river flowing from Jerusalem to either of these massive lands and civilizations, not to Africa and not to Mesopotamia. Is that a spiritual thing? Is there some underwater, divine underwater that flows underground and feeds the origins of these places? This is more of a spiritual explanation, okay? But let's head out now to the old city of Jerusalem, and more specifically to the Temple Mount, where according to the tradition, this is where Mount Moriah, yeah, Mount Moriah, where according to the tradition, God started to create the land. So the Muslim monument that you see in front of you at the Dome of the Rock, Kubat al-Sakhra, this is the important site for Jews, the most important site for Jews, the location of the temple, the first one and later the second one, and it's built on the top of Mount Moriah. Okay, so all the traditions, important traditions associated with this mountain are mentioned in the Bible. The creation of Adam and Eve, and later Ark of Noah. The Ark of Noah landed over here according to the Jewish tradition, and later on the binding of Isaac. Okay, the ultimate test of devotion. We'll get to that hopefully in our little series of these explanations about the Parasha. So this place is the top of Mount Moriah, and here's the Temple Mount Plaza. If you've never been to Israel, just over here in the back, you can see the Mount of Olives. So if you're a Christian, you definitely want to visit that as well. It's important for Jews as well, and for Muslims. Okay, so these sites are really important for all the Abrahamic believers. This is the cradle of the Abrahamic faith. And under this golden dome and this Muslim shrine, we have the rock itself. Okay, so Dome of the Rock, it's named after a rock. Okay, here's the dome from inside, really magnificent shrine or mosque. Okay, and at the very bottom of it, you can see the rock. Okay, this rock, it's the foundation stone. It's called the foundation stone. And according to the Jewish tradition, this is the place where God started to create the world. It's the foundation stone of the universe, not just the foundation stone of some building or anything like that. This is the foundation stone of the universe. And according to the tradition, Adam and Eve were created from the dirt of this rock. Okay, so this is it. Yeah. So when we're talking about when we are talking about the Parasha, the weekly portion that we read, it pretty much refers to this geography. Okay, so now that we are more informed about it, let's just take a quick look. Beautiful, beautiful shrine indeed. Okay, take a look. And back to the foundation stone and the dome. Amazing. Good. So I hope you enjoyed that. I just want to take you in a little adventure to give you some sense of geography to the weekly portion, and hopefully I'll be doing this little series of Google Earth shorties about the Bible and the weekly Parasha. And until next week, I hope you enjoy that and follow the channel, and I'll see you in the next time. Thanks a lot.